Wow, I didn't know that two guys in the Navy couldn't sleep together. Guess we'll find out where this goes. It's actually ending in something very negative for these two guys, that they were caught in boot camp. We'll talk more about it here. Stay tuned. What is up, guys? You're tuning into NickyMGTV for another video. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below if you do have questions. But as always, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all that great stuff for other great videos. I will tell you first, I will preface this video because I'm not trying to get in anyone trouble. I am literally frustrated because this person that posted this on Reddit knows to take it down. It's been over 24 hours and they kept it up, and I was like, obviously they don't care if anyone looks at it, so I'm going to make a video about it because they've been forewarned and they just didn't do anything about it. So his post writes, well, I messed up. Basically 2 weeks ago, I was reported for laying in my buddy's rack after taps. That's bedtime for you guys. We weren't doing anything sexual, just talking, but still. It got reported and I got lateral asthma, means pushed back to another division, and I graduated. Now I'm here on legal hold and temporary holding unit in boot camp, and I'm mad at myself, but I want to get it over with and go to A school. How long might my wait be for captain's mass? What might happen to me? I don't need a lecture. I understand I was immature and should have taken it seriously. I've had over 2 weeks of constant pressure in my own head, being scared of getting separated, and I just don't know. Not a lot of information out there that I tried to find on it, so anything helps. Now, you're like, all right, cool. What? Nothing bad happened here. Nothing to see. Just a couple dudes talking while they're sitting in their racks. Don't most guys talk and sit in their racks together? Well, not really. I've never done that. But, you know, perception is reality while you're at boot camp, and that's why this is very real. That is not where I have an issue with this post at all, and that is the self-incriminating facts that people like you guys need to understand are going to hurt you if you publish it on the internet. Read this further part of it. So with further details, because people in the thread were looking to see what was going on to get better details other than you were laying next to him talking, how could this be perceived? So he says, details. Basically, one night after taps, I was being dumb and went to the other side of the compartment to a friend's rack and jumped in it and lay down, I think he means, and talked because I was being hyped up for being close to graduation and just being dumb. By the way, you're not supposed to even be up and walking around even though you're close to graduation. That's like a rule. There's only so many people allowed out of their racks at a time when the lights are out and you're supposed to be asleep. That way you guys aren't going crazy. 2 weeks later, some guy reported it. I have no idea why, but he made up a story that the night before he woke up at 2 a.m. and saw me laying in my buddy's rack. He told the security and roving watch and they saw nothing because everyone was asleep in their own racks. Anyway, me and the other guy got asthma to a different division and we got investigated over the phone. Got read my rights and said nothing happened. So obviously that's an official statement. Keep that in mind. My friend mentioned the thing that had happened 2 weeks prior and said it happened 2 weeks prior and pleaded guilty. We talked and he reminded me of that instance and I was like, oh my God, that's right. But that happened so long ago, so I then realized I told the investigator, no, it didn't happen. And I guess it probably counted as a lie, and so yeah, I'm scared. I don't want to be stuck here for 6 months like I've heard from other online posts, and yeah. So yes, that would be technically you not telling the truth, but I'm also going to say he could have came clean and been like, hey, I totally forgot about that. I don't know how that legality works, but I will say, you posting this online to Reddit, having people in boot camp, how many cases do you think there are of people sleeping near each other or talking in the middle of the night in the same area under the same circumstances with how many people process through there? And not that many. So what I'm saying to you is, like, anybody of you guys that have issues that post to Reddit, whatever you do, don't post details that can narrow you down. I've narrowed, not only is this Great Lakes, but it's specifically boot camp. It's recent, which means there's how many cases going on at boot camp right now where their legal department could not read this. And I look at the situation and there's a couple lessons to be learned besides the fact of him posting, incriminating evidence online of him making other statements. While you're in boot camp, you're going to hear all the time that there is something called perception is reality. And I've already said that in this video, but you will hear that. And that is something that is key across everywhere you go. in the military. So if you guys do not know, there is non-judicial punishment, which is allowed to be awarded from a commanding officer, which is where the commanding officer does not need really any evidence to, give you a punishment, but you are now able to take it to court-martial if you don't agree. That makes the military have to prove their case or to present and give you a true judicial hearing. Some people don't do this because it's like, okay, I'll get a couple days restriction, 30, 45, couple, months pay reduced for half pay. But this is especially in boot camp, and this is where I get so pissed off at all of you guys. I know it. Nicky makes a video. Nicky tells you don't be a Blue Falcon. Nicky says, why are you guys still being Blue Falcons? And I seriously get to continue making videos about you guys being Blue Falcons. And by the way, before you guys start white knighting and be like, well, Nicky, you should have never made a video about it. Well, how about this guy? Should have never been in the rack where he wasn't supposed to be, and also shouldn't have posted on Reddit. How about that? So go take your bag nasty back somewhere else. Because literally right now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make the video because there are a lot of people here that have been through boot camp, or they're going to laugh about this because that is funny. The other people that are going to boot camp are now going to be like, whoa, this is serious. I can't be doing this. I can't be flirting and doing all this other stupid stuff that you did like you were in elementary school. That's what it is. You are at the very first step of your military career in boot camp. They are not going to take it lenient in regards to you breaking basic fundamental rules, and that's how it works. Now, if these two guys were in a relationship and they were off duty, not at boot camp, where they have not probably been educated and been told not to make contact with people that are in boot camp or sleeping close to each other or talking close to each other because COVID-19 is still a thing and people are having to deal with that. If this was a big issue, my perception of this is they already let them graduate, so that's good, but also on top of that, I don't think it's enough that there was like anything happening. There's no proof either, so if he wanted to challenge it, he may be able to do that if he wanted to take it to court-martial. Also, if those other people that were standing watch were witnesses and said they didn't see anything. By the way, this is a very common occurrence in boot camp in general, where people joke about people touching themselves or people being nasty while they're asleep or people hooking up. Trust me, there are people that have done the dirty in boot camp. I didn't know anybody, but I just figure 40,000 people go through boot camp, Navy boot camp specifically, every year. There's probably somebody, we're in 2020 where probably there's enough dudes that like each other that are in there, I don't know. I'm just making things up as I go right now because it just makes sense. Statistically, that is possible. When you are at this point in training, in your career, it is very easily to be administratively separated. It's not much of a loss for the military because you have already just gone through boot camp. That's really it. They haven't put much money into you, things like that. So not trying to scare anybody, but even through A school and things like that. So you're going to see it's very easy for people to be separated in training commands from what I've seen in my personal experience. I'm sure you guys have probably experienced the same thing. Don't be stupid. Do what you're supposed to do. Graduate, leave, move on, and actually do the dirty or make friends and cuddle, I guess, at your A school if you're going to do it and if you're allowed, because there's going to be hotel parties. Don't worry. Once COVID lifts, hotel parties are going to be there. It's going to be like Mr. 305. Hotel, Holiday Inn. All right, I've dated myself. You guys need to let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about this. And as always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below if you do have questions. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.